Hello students, welcome to the Computer Education channel, and today I will discuss about the concept of operating system. We will discuss the basic definitions of operating system. Firstly, you should know what is it operating system. Operating system is a software that will provide the interface between the user and the hardware. It is just giving the instruction to the software or the hardware of the computer system to do the task that is given by the user. It just provides an interaction between the user and the hardware. Just like if the user is giving the instruction to open a file, then how do the software know to open the file? It is the operating system that will give the instruction to the software to open the file. So operating system acts as an intermediate between the user and the computer system. It is just provides the platform only. It is not directly providing the services to the user. It is a processor that is providing the services to the user, and the instruction to the processor is given by the operating system. So the operating system is an interface between the user and the computer hardware. Now we will discuss about the types of the operating system. First type of the operating system is single user operating system. Single user operating system means only one user can use the operating system at a single point of time. Now I will discuss what is a single user operating system. In this type of the operating system, only one process will be in the memory at a particular time, and if CPU is executing that process P0 at a particular time, then it will not be able to execute the another process, because only one process it can execute at a particular point of time. Now there is a disadvantage. There are the disadvantages of that single user operating system. What is the disadvantage? That in this kind of operating system, CPU utilization is not 100%. Now there are many reasons that why CPU utilization is not 100% in this kind of operating system. Firstly, if the CPU is executing the process P0, then now it is waiting for the input for the P0. In that particular time, in that meantime, it will not be able to execute the another process. So in this meantime, CPU will sit idle. While we are giving the input for the P0, CPU is sitting idle, so it is not being utilized. And another reason why CPU utilization is not 100%, because when one program completes execution, then it may take some time to submit the another job or to load the another process into the memory. In this meantime, CPU will sit again idle, so the CPU utilization is not 100%. These are the main disadvantages of the single user operating system. So we will have to switch to the multi-user operating system. Next operating system, we'll use the batch operating system. Batch means a group of programs are residing at in the main memory at the same time, and the computer will execute that batch. That batch means multiple programs that is given by the user at the same time, and when the CPU executes that batch, then the user will take the output or will collect the output. Now there is also the disadvantage of that batch operating system, that user involvement is not there. User involvement means while executing all the programs or while executing that batch by the operating system, the user involvement is not there. So this is the main disadvantage of that kind of operating system, and hence the CPU utilization is also low in this kind of operating system. And the third kind of operating system is the multi-programming. Now I will discuss the concept of multi-programming operating system. Multi-programming operating system, that there are multiple programs in the memory at the same time. Just like I have shown that there are 3 programs in the main memory at the same time. Now if the CPU is executing the process P0, and process P0 is busy in taking the input from the user, now at that point of time CPU may switch to the P1. Now P0 will complete its input, and then it will come in that queue, that it will P1, P2 and P0 will be added in the last. Now after completing the task of the P1, CPU may select any task from the main memory, that is P2 or P0. It is not necessary that it will take the P2 or P0. It is totally dependent on the CPU, that it can select P2 and P0. Now the next concept is multitasking operating system. Multitasking means multiple tasks at the same time. Multitasking operating system are used nowadays. Now I will explain the multitasking with the help of the diagram that is shown. That is CPU. If CPU is executing the process P1 and now process P0 is taking its input from the user, then CPU will take the process P1 from the memory. It will revolve all the processes in the memory. After P0, CPU may switch only to the P1, and after switching, after taking the output or after processing the P1, it will take the process P2 only. It will not switch to the P0. That is a multitasking, and order will be maintained in the memory. That is, first it will take P0, then P2, P1, P2. If the P0 is not completed, then we'll add it to the last, and CPU will have to take the process P1. After P1, it will take P2, and then again it may take P0. This is a task of the multitasking operating system. Means an order is maintained between the execution of the processes that are in the memory, but at the same time all the processes are being executed, because if one process is taking its input from the user, that in that time CPU may execute the another process. That is the advantages of multitasking, that we can execute the multiple programs at the same time. Now I will say that if there is a multi-programming, and multitasking, both concepts we have done, but there is a difference between these two kind of operating system. In multitasking, there is always an order is maintained to execute the processes. Means if there is a P0, P1, P2 in the main memory, then the operating system has to maintain the order. It will execute the process P0. After some time it will go to the P1. After some time then it will go to the P2, and again if P0 is not completed, then it will take again the P0. Means operating system, in this kind of operating system, an order is maintained with the execution of the different processes. But in multi-programming, it is totally dependent on the operating system, that if it's switching, it may switch to any process in the main memory. And last point I will discuss about the relation between these two. If there is a multi-programming, then multi-programming is always there. If there is a multitasking, then there is a multi-programming all the time. Means, but if there is a multi-programming, that multitasking may be there or it may not be there. I will discuss it concept with the real life example. If I relate to multitasking with the rain and multi-programming with the mud, means if there is a rain, then it is sure that mud will be there. But if there is a mud, then I cannot be sure whether there was a rain or not. So the similar concepts may be applied to the multitasking and the multi-programming. Is multitasking is there, then multi-programming is there. But if multi-programming is there, then we are not sure whether the multitasking is done or not. So this is all about the multitasking operating system. And next I will discuss about the real-time operating system. Real time means there is a constraint of the time. Means we have to take the output from the operating system within the time. Operating system has to perform its time within the time constraint, like the fire alarm system, or railway reservation system, air flight reservation system. These all have to be updated all the time and gives the output within the time constraint. So these are called the real time operating system. In this kind of operating system takes the input from the sensors and process the data according to the sensors, and then it gives the output in a time constraint. So this is all about the operating system. So in the next class we will discuss another concept. So till then, bye.